I'm holding on. One might say I may keep holding on.
Oh my lord.
I'm keeping that in.
I'm just gonna get the dishwasher. I imagine hopefully require a second. I gotta get all this shit out and take stuff. But I had to actually open the website because I don't know what temperature to make that. Yes, I'm making you treats. Look, I got the peanut butter out. Yeah, yeah. That's all I did. Anyways, let's see. Okay, I wasn't sure. Yeah. I'm pumpkin. Oh, sorry, puppy. I just stepped on my dog.
Oh no. How could you? Animal abuse.
Yeah, I totally don't love this dog. It's not like I'm making her homemade treats right now
No,
with
no,
the
no, no,
natural peanut butter that we buy for her, specifically for her, so I can make these treats.
no, no,
Because
no, no,
it doesn't have xylitol.
no, 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 no.
Oh, don't forget the whole wheat flour. And the fact that I cut them out into parts by hand, and this is the stickiest thing to ever exist. Hold on. Let me get a bowl of it up. I'll just use this. Bestie.
Hello.
Oh, that was so loud. What the fuck? Okay, hold on. Okay. Can you? How loud is the dishwasher?
Like, it sounds like it's raining in the background. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm about to get really close to it, and let me open this can, and then that's the loud. That's the end of the loudness until the oven beeps, because it's ready.
Okay.
Preheated.
I'm gonna keep all this in for the cold open.
Wow. Okay. Why is this? Okay. I feel like I've gotten 27 million Amber Alerts in the past week.
Oh, that.
Okay.
That's good. Not.
It's fine.
It's
I
fine.
mean, I guess it's summer, so like I get it. But like, what the fuck are these people doing? Get
That
a
is
hobby.
a
Don't
question.
steal kids.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. In other news, I'm wearing different headphones that I normally wear that have an actual mic on them.
Me too.
I know you are. It's instantly obvious with the quality. But
Thanks.
mine has like over the like in front of your mouth mic, and I keep on almost accidentally hitting it with my hand. So
Don't eat it. Let's see.
I'm not going to, but I'm very expressive with my hands, which means I almost accidentally hit it a lot.
Yes, I know, bestie.
I know you know.
Hands.
Yeah. I didn't really realize that until I
It
made
runs in
YouTube
the
videos.
family.
Good to know. Good to know. I guess we should start the actual podcast. Welcome to the Fish and Flower podcast. Shut up. I'm Flower, aka Rose. My fun fact of the day. I decided that for this one, I'm gonna give an update on my fish. because I haven't given one for the podcast since the first Katie Robert era episode, right? In which a lot of my fish were dead. All of them except for the one is dead.
Wow.
Mr.
Poor
Bubby
fish.
the Third is actually a murderer, but also like I think he's actually a serial killer, but also I think he's a woman because he was laying some eggs for a bit there. So
Ray.
that's my
Ibby.
fun fact.
Well, my name is Fish, aka Stingray. And I'm making dog treats for my sweet little bubby. Why do I want to say sweetums? Like, I don't call my dog sweetums. I don't know. Say Epi Ray. I don't know. There's something else. I feel like there's something else. Anyways, I'm just speaking.
Okay. Also, my window's like wide open right behind me. So like if you can hear the outdoor, that's why.
Yeah, and the dishwasher's going, so either way, there's gonna be background noise today.
Yeah.
So
I think this mic will
the oven's
actually
gonna
mute
beep
it, but
eventually, by the way. So
okay.
warning everybody now.
Okay. There's definitely a train going by right now. It's fine.
I heard a train last night.
That's fun. You couldn't tell this is very much a stream of conscious podcast. Sometimes we really just go for it. Very similar to how we talk to each other on a daily basis. On today's episode, we will be talking about the second book in the Wicked Villain series, Learn My Lesson. This one follows Hades, Meg, and Hercules from the Disney movie Hercules. You know, great movie.
I've only watched Hercules like once.
I've watched it like 2 times. I haven't watched it much either, but I do really like it. And one of my favorite Disney songs is Meg's I Won't Fall in Love. Is that what it's called? In that movie, it's great.
Abby's getting peanut butter right now. I hope everyone knows. Everyone's gotta know that my dog's eating peanut butter.
That's so funny.
I'm letting her lick the spoon because I need peanut butter for these.
Yes, makes sense.
I love my dog.
Before we go into you trying to guess how many pages of notes I took,
17.
No, and I will explain why. I decided to start doing this thing where I go, when I say what book it is, I should possibly actually say the content warnings.
Yeah.
So that, like, the next morning when I go to edit and upload it, I don't have to, like, make a separate video or voice recording. The last time I did it on my phone because my computer doesn't work sometimes when it's just me. So I, like, pulled up my phone and took a video on my phone of just me going, yeah, these are the content warnings, and then uploaded it. It was a good time. So this one, we have...
Check your DMs.
Check my DMs.
Yes.
Is it of a dog eating peanut butter?
Perhaps.
Oh my god, it is. This book, sexual content, I mean, obviously, this is one of the erotica episodes. We have kidnapping, violence, gun violence, car accidents, child death, death in general, and also hinted sexual assault and rape. It's never blatantly said, but it is assumed, and I do bring it up 3 times and only blatantly really secretly bring it up. Otherwise I just call it assault like they do in the book. But everyone understands what he's talking about. But there's this one part where I do, because it's like also loosely based off of Greek mythology a little bit. I will explain it because there's a connection. And so I was looking up specific people that are mentioned in this book, revolving around it, and I was looking up their story in the mythology, and there are swans, and you know, so
I have a very important question because you never answered my question. You said that multiple gods, like in Greek mythology, like transform themselves into animals to seduce women, like not just Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
So why is Greek mythology based in bestiality?
Listen. Why is it based in bestiality and assault?
That's a very good question.
Because, like, one version of the Medusa story is that she was by Poseidon in a temple of Athena, I think it was, or was it Artemis? One of the two. And they got very pissed, so they got
I'm not
revenge
giggling
on
at
the
the
victim.
content. I'm giggling at my bubby. I'm so
I
sorry.
figured. So they were pissed about it, so they got revenge on the victim. You know, Speaking of Medusa, though, I did see a book that's coming out soon about a love story between Medusa and a blind woman. I may want to read that. Just saying.
Hey, well, I was trying to get a picture of her licking the measuring cup with her teeth out because her teeth kept poking through her skull. It was so cute.
Oh my god.
Anyways,
Anyways,
I'm so unserious. I'm so sorry. Ew.
that's fine. So you were wrong about the number of pages because it's only 9 pages. But that's because, where is it? Is it page? Yeah, halfway through page 4, I switched from my normal bullet point list to just like paragraphs at the end of each chapter. I would write out paragraphs, or I would add stuff in the middle if something really important happened. But otherwise, at the end of the chapter, to save time, didn't help much. Still took me like 8 hours to read this. Um,
And you had already started it.
yeah, no, I already read 11% of it. And then 2 weeks later, I continued it and read all of it. Oh, well, finished it yesterday, and it took me 8 hours to do that. It's
Hello. This is currently just me. I'm gonna call Stingray in a second, but this is me to inform you ahead of time. The pain. So after the 12 minutes and 34-second clip that you've already listened to, the rest of the 2-hour-ish episode we recorded doesn't exist. Basically, the whole entire file corrupted. I think I know what happened. I think it has to do with the headphones I was testing out. I think I've used them for a different episode, and it was fine. So I don't know why it's an issue now, but I think that's the issue. Where basically, because of them, it just auto stopped recording. At that 12 minutes and 34 seconds. But the thing said it was still recording the whole time. So the thing was like broken, and then when I went to fix it, it did work, but it only worked for the 12 minutes and 34 seconds that was actually recording, which means, yeah, we're re-recording it. The day that's going up, it's fine. Let's hope that all of this just instantly exited Stingray's brain, but yeah, this is gonna be slightly just us just being down because we gotta do this all again. I took all these notes. I'm making that episode. But you know, it's fine. I do know that the part that saved was about the content warnings. That's where that ended. So good times. I don't think there's anything else I have to talk about. Oh yeah, in case I forget to bring it up later, next week's episodes, basically the whole entire reason why we still decided to do this episode today, despite the fact that we recorded 2 episodes yesterday, and technically could have done it that way, where we did the other one today, it's because those episodes are, both those, focus on main characters that are trans and or non-binary, so, it's a lot of focus on gender identity in both of them, and while I did do them both in the same week by accident, I thought that was pretty nice, and I didn't want to change that up, so I'm keeping it like that. So yeah, okay, Q and Stingray actually talking about the book time. I have to make a thumbnail.
You want me to make it?
No, it's fine, I'll do it. I just hate making thumbnails.
Honestly, that was a genuine offer when I said you just want me to make all your thumbnails for the rest of the time because I love making thumbnails.
No, it's fine. I'll make it all. I'll make the stupid things. I'll just hate doing it.
I'm literally offering to do it for you, and you're like, no, for free, might I add you?
You can edit my vlogs if you want.
No. I don't even like editing my own, bestie.
I know. Nobody likes editing.
I think there's minimal of them. Even though I've done this for how long? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Okay, I finally get to remove all these clips.
I'm so sad
Two
about it.
bells inside of you. One of them is gay. The other is also gay.
There's gotta be something else inside me for me to be all like this in my entire life. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You think we'll need some peanut butter? Well, you're wrong.
How could you do this to her?
She's been a bad dog. She was mean to the kitty.
Wait a second. The meme of the water meme of me-led episodes versus you-led episodes. Perfect for the Wicker King episode.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
That one will probably be the best one though, because I know everything about that book ever, right?
I mean, true.
I missed the Wicker King bot on Twitter.
I'm sorry.
I bet they're tired of seeing me in their notice, so.
Makes sense.
Oh, thanks.
You want to just get started?
Yes.
I already filmed a thing where I was like, hello, this is what happened. We're not going to be in a good mood. Just accept it. We're defeated. Who knows how much Stingray remembered?
Probably, there's only like one or two parts that I vividly remember right off the top of my head currently, so.
Is one of them the scene when they send Zeus the email?
Yeah!
I know you so well. You know, I'm very sad that all those perfect for clipping bits are just lost forever. Like that time you dropped your headphones to talk to Epi Ray, and I could hear all of it, and I was like, I'm gonna clip all 2 minutes of this. This is hilarious. I was dying.
I'm so funny, and it was so sad. It's so sad and so funny.
It was such a good episode, and now we get this mediocrity because we're too dead on the inside to try.
As opposed to
while this happens, I'm also watching my video upload to make sure it works properly.
I'm just putting the on toast, specifically.
Yeah, I've done that before. I had toast with butter, so.
We're on the same way.
I had whole grain.
Here, how can you hear me cutting it?
Yeah.
I like my toast toasty, you know? Can you tell?
I like my toast very, lightly toasted,
Of course you do, you weirdo.
Well, if I make it too toasted, it cuts up the roof of my mouth.
Okay, Anne, that's the best part. We haven't even introduced ourselves yet.
No, because remember the intro was.
Oh, I feel weird without introducing ourselves, though.
Too bad.
Oh, can I at least do my fun fact of the day of it being I have a cat in my bathtub?
Yes, that could be your bonus fun fact.
Okay.
What's my bonus fun fact gonna be? I was gonna say I'm dead on the inside, but we already knew this. I feel like I should, extend the Rose lore, but, I don't know what to say. I don't have much lore.
You have lots of lore, bestie. You like white toast, for one.
I have whole grain toast right now. What the hell are you talking about?
I meant untoasted toast.
Yes. I like so lightly toasted, I want it to just barely be, crispy on the outside.
There's something wrong with you. I also like my bacon basically almost burnt, and my hot dogs, but that's just because of my grandpa.
I don't like hot dogs. Also, I still don't have chips.
I'm from Texas. I have no standards. Be serious.
It's true. I'm weird. I don't like soup either. There's only one type of soup I really like, and it's my mom's soup. Especially chicken noodle or turkey noodle. And that's my favorite part about Thanksgiving. Is my favorite part of Thanksgiving is the cranberry relish, but after Thanksgiving is having the leftover turkey and turkey noodle soup. And that's it.
Yeah, we don't do those types of things, bestie.
I'm sorry.
I've never had turkey noodle soup in my life. I don't like homemade soup. It's never good enough for me.
I don't like soup in general. I don't like the texture of it. Just
The texture of soup. The
I
liquidy
don't like
texture.
eating a thick, warm liquid with chunks in it. Like, that's weird. I'm good.
I wouldn't call soup thick, per se, but okay.
Some of them are thick, yes.
Thick soup is weird. I'll give you that. Like, tomato soup, stuff like that?
Yeah. Also, I just don't like tomatoes because the acidity really hurts my mouth.
I only like raw tomatoes. I don't like cooked tomatoes, really.
No, I can't do raw ones. Sometimes I can do cooked ones, but the raw ones, the acidity of them really fuck up my mouth. Belle has the same issue, actually.
Bombastic side eye.
No.
Ebby's giving me bombastic side eye.
Bella was looking at me when I was buttering my toast. I was like, no, this is my toast. I didn't even give her an end piece. I guess, I love how even when we're trying to get this done, we still manage to talk nonsense for 10 minutes before we start talking about the book.
It's because you missed me.
It's so true. It's been less than 24 hours, and we totally weren't texting all night and all morning so far.
You're the first person I talked to today.
I believe in you. My eye itches so much. I love allergies. I
talked to you before I talked to my dog, okay?
Well, I'm special. I think that's because you talked to me when you woke up but didn't really wake up. First thing in the morning. Yeah. You, woke up around the time I wake up. And I went, hello? Haven't even made my coffee yet.
I threw a bug on my trash can. It'd be Ray, what the fuck? Hold on. Let me see what type of bug this is and if I can be freaked out or not.
Okay.
Ew, I don't know what the fuck it is. Ew. It looks like a ladybug but yellow and striped instead of polka dotted. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I'm gonna ignore it.
Reminds me a little bit of potato bugs. Oh my god, that's Rose
The cat
lore.
is meowing.
That is Rose lore. Okay, I feel like this is not a normal human thing to ever happen to normal people. So, there's these type of bugs that, we call potato bugs. I don't know what they're actually called. That are these tiny, kind of like ladybugs, but they have, stripes, and they're black and white or yellow. And they eat the plant that the potatoes, grow in, right? So, to, make it so they didn't do that, we put some, stuff on them, but, we didn't, put pesticides or anything, really, on anything. So, instead, what happened is that they would, give my sister and I, old coffee can, and we would go through the rows, multiple rows. There's, sometimes, 15 rows of potatoes. And these are, long rows, and we would go through them all and pick up all these bugs that, of course, our hands getting disgusting, and throw them all in these coffee cans, and then they would drown them in gasoline. And then they would count them out how many there were, and for every bug, we would get a dime. And then we would have to split up the money evenly.
What the fuck?
So that's some Rose lore for you.
I'm trying to mute myself because I'm eating, but what the fuck? Can I write that into the horror book that I'm not writing? Because what the fuck?
Yes. Imagine if you actually wrote a book. While I'm writing a book, we can write books together. If only I did this.
The way I've only finished, the only thing I've ever finished is one short story, and it's just based on Champagne Problems by Taylor Swift. So did I really complete a story? No, I just reiterated a story.
I believe in you. My eye itches so much, I'm just gonna ignore it. Okay. To the actual book. It starts with Meg's point of view, similar to the movie. Meg sold herself to Hades.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Okay. To help out a man she loved. His name is Declan, it's brought up later. Who then turned around and betrayed her. They've been together for nearly 10 years. The timeline for it is that, about 10 years ago, she did sell herself to Hades, for this deal, right? But, despite the fact that, he was instantly into her, instantly. This man was a simping instantly. They didn't start a relationship.
We love Hercules.
They didn't start a relationship until a whole year, a little over a year after the deal was made. It started out as, a friendship and them working together, and then it turned into the relationship. The way he courted her, iconic. We'll get to that. Also, I forgot that I wrote this down as a very important fact. Hades has glasses. Now I'm just remembering every sex scene
The
with
hottest
him wearing
bitches are
glasses.
blind, okay? The hottest bitches are blind. We can confirm.
I mean, Belle's a little blind, so yeah.
The hottest bitches are blind. I'm worried that Ibby might start losing her eyeballs soon.
Bella runs
But I think
a
she's
lot,
okay.
so... Oh my god, Mike.
I think your dog is just stupid, bestie.
True. From Desperate Measures, Jafar is still mad at Hades, for the whole selling
Can you hear Ibby? I'm sorry. Can you hear her panting?
I don't think
she's
so.
Not panting, she's just breathing.
Okay.
But she's mouth breathing.
Mad about the whole selling her off to, Ali. But Meg still hangs out with Jasmine, and they bang sometimes still, good times. Hades plays mind games with everyone out of boredom. He currently wants to, and I quote, play a game with Meg, but she's tired due to the distance that has grown between them over the years. A lot of this book is, focusing on, one of those relationships where, like, after so long together, distance just starts to grow, and them trying to repair that distance. She doesn't try to rectify it out of fear of him denying her request for emotional support. We love that. While she has power from everyone being scared of Hades and extent her, she's still just his, and I quote, plaything. He literally marked her as his. There's like a tattoo on her wrist. There's some like sweet moments, especially post-coital, sometimes current coital, where he'll just kiss the wrist and it's supposed to be like him showing his love, and the tattoo is blue flame, kind of like the cover. Makes sense. The game he wants to play is have Meg fuck a random person at the restaurant of his choosing. They're like having dinner right now. While Hades has been careless with Meg's heart a multitude of times, she trusts he would never be with her body. But by having her fuck a random stranger, there are too many variables, and he like cannot confirm her safety, and it freaks her out. She doesn't believe the choice of waiter who looks innocent is random.
Beans.
It is, but it's actually some manipulation of Hades, which it is. She calls Hades Sir a lot. That's his, what both of them as subs, because both of them will become subs. Throuple, call
title.
As,
the word you're looking for is title.
Yes, they call him Sir. There's an unlocked room upstairs, and Hades says he'll make sure she's safe. Meg does have a safe word, which is Cerberus, but likes doing these things for Hades. Hades always did like to, and I quote, watch her work. The way I'm doing air quotations when I say, and I quote, and then saying what the thing is. And then they realize the waiter that she's supposed to go bang has clocked out. So then it switches the waiter's point of view, who is Hercules. He grew up in a life of luxury. Something happened with his father and a girl, so now he's poor. That's where the assault comes in. I'll talk about it one other time, I think. Well, it's hinted at multiple times, and people generally know what he means when he's talking about it. It's never like straight up said, really, except at one point when it does talk about her dropping charges and whatnot, and that's around the only other time I go into it. That, and then when it relates to the mythology. Meg comes into the employees' lounge, telling him that Hades left her behind, and she's already called a cab, but wondering if Hercules is willing to wait with her. And then he's all like, cool, we can wait back here, and then she's like, nah, and then goes up to the apartment up above the restaurant, which is the unlocked room. And her excuse is that she knows the owners. Not really explained who actually owns this apartment and how they have access and all that stuff, but good times. Megan and Hercules talk for a bit, and he's very into her, but doesn't want to push boundaries, especially since, like, she has a boyfriend, or partner or something. And also, she's a woman in help, like, needing help right now, and he's there to help her, and so, by pushing that boundary, it feels icky to him. we love a man. An icon, Hercules, just, ooh. A lot of puppy dog eyes about this man. He's made a practice of making himself smaller to make other people more comfortable, especially a woman. He's a very large guy, like, over 6 feet, very muscular, like, quote-unquote, built like a god. So, like...
Sorry, just thinking about the fact that this is how this Hercules is, but, like, realistically, Hercules as, like, an idea, or whatever you want to call it, was, like, vile.
Yep. He likes to try to make other people comfortable. He recognizes that people are not comfortable with a large man, especially a woman, for understandable reasons. And so he tries to make himself smaller to make them,
Bestie.
more comfortable around him, and I love him.
Bestie.
Yeah.
Bestie, can I complain about something real quick?
Uh-huh.
I want okra, and we cook it in the air fryer because I don't want mushy okra in my microwave, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But we cooked bacon in there last night, and I don't want to wash it, and there's a bunch of stuff in the sink anyway, so I can't wash it, and I'm sad, because we don't have very much... What?
I know.
What did you say?
Cleaning an air fryer is a pain in the ass.
It really is, but like we don't really have much to eat right now. And I think okra is easy. I don't have to think about it because I don't want to work for anything today. You know, it's just one of those days. And like we have like 4 bags of broccoli. I don't want broccoli. I don't want soggy, mushy squash and asparagus either because my mom buys some frozen occasionally. I don't want mixed vegetables either. I wanted some okra. I rinsed it out and poured the grease out and stuff, but it's still gross. I'm sad. Okay, continue.
Okay, I'm sorry, bestie. I want to say like 2 months ago I cleaned my mom's air fryer for her. And like, I deep cleaned that thing, and according to her, that's like the cleanest it's ever been since she got it.
Thank you for letting me complain about the air fryer and the fact that we literally chose to eat bacon yesterday. Well, I didn't. I only had the rest of it after I saw my mom eating it.
So Meg does tell Hercules that she lied, that she's actually here to just bang Hercules. And when he's like, you have a guy, as far as I know, and she's like, our relationship is complicated. We learn a little bit about Hercules. He comes from a city called Olympus. This is when I first got an inkling. Hot take, it's Hades' hometown, and that's why he'll have a personal agenda against Hercules to get back at his dad for something. Yeah, that's 100% a thing. I got that so early on. Hercules is bi, and Hercules recognizes the look in Meg's eyes as loneliness. He literally...
We love Hercules.
I know, right? They're talking, and then he looks at Meg, and he realizes the look in her eye is loneliness, and he feels like there's a lot in this chapter about how lonely he feels since leaving his home. And so he says, it's okay, I'm lonely too, and then kisses her. And that's where that chapter ends.
Riz or whatever, I don't know.
That is also where I stopped reading for like 2 weeks until the other day when I finished it, like read the rest of it. And literally it goes from that to them begging. So, you know, good times. Afterwards, Hercules is worried he hurt her. Hercules is a very strong, large man and could easily dominate Meg, and she recognizes this, but also knows that he's also caring and sweet and used to being put down a lot. So there's some aftercare where she comforts him. There's also like part of the sex scene. It's like him initially starting it with going to have a meal. Why do I say it like that every time? And then
I don't know. Like, you always complain about that, you say it like that, and then you continue to say it like that.
I'm psychotic. And then
yeah, I know.
And before he can finish doing that, she goes for a ride. And then, but Hercules is like, no, I wanted to finish that meal. I'm gonna go finish that meal. And so while he's doing that, Hades walks in, partially, and Meg sees him, at which point he mouths at her to, orgasm, and she does. It's a stronger orgasm than what she's had with Hades for a long time. And then once they're complete, Hercules is like starting to get up, and she's like still on the high, but like slowly coming down. he completely walks into the room asking, "And what do we have here?" And then and a quote, that was actually a quote. And that's where that chapter ends. It's really him walking in, and then it's his point of view for the first time. He considers Meg his in the same way his right hand is his. He's also into Hercules, but plans.
That makes me laugh every time. I'm sorry.
He plans to.
Like, I get it. I understand the concept, but
he plans on, and I quote, snapping him into pieces at the first opportunity. I can hear the thunder in the background.
Okay, get in line.
When Hercules asks why he's there, he says to claim what's his. Then he looks to Meg, who looks more relaxed than she's been for a while, and plans to use Hercules as and I quote, bridge. It's the terminology he uses a lot is bridge, about this. So there's like two plans, two birds, one stone, where he's gonna use Hercules to get revenge on Hercules' father, but also, to help repair his relationship with Meg. That is the plan. Hades has Meg kneel at his feet to make Hercules' protective instinct come out, because that's how he's going to capture him, basically. Apparently Hades has been watching him for months, and informs Hercules this is a game they play where he sends Meg to seduce other people, which obviously makes Hercules feel betrayed, because oh my fucking god, she was told to come fuck me, and blah 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 blah, right? Understandable. It's insinuated he's doing this to make Hercules' father, Zeus, full of rage, and that'll help bring him down. Loki mentioned that already, but he wants Meg to have fun, so yeah. He has Meg get dressed, and they leave, and then when they get in the car, she freaks out at him for, like, doing this. She, like, recognizes something was going on there, something more, and she's like, how dare you have me bang this guy, and then, like, try to make a whole scene, and I know there's something deeper here, like, what's going on. And there's a lot of, like, combating with power plays and whatnot, with them, and, he makes Meg tell him thank you for letting her bang Hercules, and then they have car sex. And then it's Hercules' point of view. It's like a week-ish later, and he can't forget how controlling Hades was and believes Meg is trapped. He recognizes the situation with Letta, the girl from his past, I think that's how you pronounce it, that's how I'm going to pronounce it, who was hurt by his father, and Meg are different, but he questions, since Hades forced her and ordered her to have sex with him, could she even give consent? And then hates himself for being more like his father than he ever thought. And it basically ended that his father assaulted Letta, and he tried to help her in the aftermath, but she wouldn't accept his help, or something happened, and he left home and all his luxuries in fear of becoming his father. At which point, this is when I looked up the mythology to see if this Letta was like a person in mythology, and she was a queen, and also the mother of Helen of Troy, who was, here's like a common thing in mythology where, men, especially Greek men, are Greek gods who are men, usually, quote unquote seduce, they use the terminology seduce a lot, women, that they want to bang, sometimes pretending to be animals. In this case, it was a swan.
Once again, asking why is Greek mythology based in bestiality? Thank you.
I have no clue, fam. But, like, there's, like, this whole question of, like, but how do you consent to a swan? I know there's another one with, like, a cow, and whatnot. So, I think there's also one where Poseidon's a dolphin. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's another one. And so, in this, Katie Roberts, like, yeah, no, how do you consent? So, it is officially, viewed as R-word.
I think we should just put a little disclaimer right here. Anybody can listen to this, but, like, respectfully, if you're, like, into bestiality or whatever, you're not allowed to listen to this. Go away. No one likes you. Thank you.
So, yeah, basically, that happened. Oh, and then the Letta mythologies had twins, after this incident. Yay, good times. Okay, back to the actual book. He tracks them down to the underworld, the sex club, and goes there on his days off. And when he enters the elevator and the doors close, he recognizes it's not really his place to intervene in their relationship, but goes through with it anyways. When he gets there, he asks for Meg, but Hades is the one who meets with him, and Hades makes an innuendo. I think it has to do with biting, and it turns Hercules on. And he knows, like, he shouldn't be turned on, but, like, he is.
Sorry, I just thought about the fact that Hercules is canonically a waiter in this for the first whatever person, and I think that's kind of funny.
I mean, technically he's a waiter throughout the whole entire thing. Because technically he becomes a waiter for the club.
It's still funny.
Yes. So Hades is like, I'm going to interview you to see if I should allow you to hang out with my Meg. And Hercules says, she's a person, not a pet. At which Hades replies, she's both. Hades hints at making Hercules kneel for him, which the idea of it upsets Hercules, but also intrigues him. Hercules fully thinks Meg is being forced and harmed, and says he won't let Hades harm her anymore, which, affects Hades in some way, but, like, it's never looked more into, than just, like, Hades making a weird look. Hades says they're at an impasse since he won't give Meg up. Hercules tries to offer a deal, but then realizes, Hades is the boogeyman from his hometown, from Olympus, and tries to confront him about it, but Hades just shuts him down. And then he's like, I don't have anything to trade except myself, so he offers up himself for trade. Hades tells him to say exactly what he means, because, like, he wants to know what the terms are exactly. And Hercules views it as a way to redeem himself, and he doesn't mind the idea of being a submissive. So, Hades is, like, just list off a bunch of different sex things. And Hercules says if it's what it takes, in response, which Hades says forced consent isn't consent, but accepts the contract anyways, with the exact words, and I quote, "Your mind, and I no longer force Meg to follow my commands against her will," which is because we know, as an audience, Meg is into it. And Hercules is also suspicious of the wording. Hades promises to teach him the world of BDSM. I just remember the BDSM school aspect.
Yeah, I was about to say the type of BDSM school.
Hades goes to, like, make a move, kiss him to, like, secure the deal. He kind of, you know how in, like, Supernatural, when you make a deal with the Crossroads Demon and you kiss the Crossroads Demon, you know, one of my favorite scenes in that show is when a homophobe, makes a deal with this hot woman, Crossroads Demon, but Crowley is the one who shows up to, like, confirm the deal, and whatnot, and he's like, well, if you don't want to make the deal, because he doesn't want to kiss a man, because, oh my god, gay people. And Crowley's like, well, if you don't want to kiss a man, I'll just leave. And then he does kiss him. And, you know, Crowley. Anyways, I just remembered that.
I haven't got that far, but okay, thanks.
You're welcome. We should watch that show.
I'm on, like, season 3, again, for the millionth time. Don't worry, it's fine, I'm fine. I've tried to watch the show 27 million times. I'm okay. I'm okay in my head.
That's me. That's so me. But yeah, Hades makes sure Hercules consents first before he gets to secure the deal, and then he does. And Hercules is basically moving into one of the apartments where all the employees work and quitting his old job and will be working at the club. That goes back to Meg, who starts out the chapter with her looking at income sheets and whatnot, being a girl boss. She's basically the manager of the club. Tink tells Meg there's a new hire who Hades plans to train himself, which pisses off Meg because the reason the club runs so smoothly is because she's here to make sure everything stays consensual between everyone. And if Hades went over her head, that means the new hire is someone Hades made a deal with. And also there's, like, this whole thing where, like, Hades wants to teach Hercules himself, which is, like, not a normal thing. He hasn't done that since Meg. Tink is 2 months away from her contract/deal ending. It is talked about more in this one because the next one is about her. She could ask Hades about the new hire, but she's not sure if he'd actually tell the truth. And Meg's contract is a lifelong commitment, and she's made her peace with it. She's a little jealous of the new hire getting Hades' personal attention, and she goes to knock on the new hire's door to see it's Hercules. Oh my god! He pulls her into the apartment, and, like, they're holding hands because, like, he pulls her by her hands and they just continue holding hands for a good bit of the scene. At which point he tells her that she's free, that he switched places with her, and she brings up the fact that Hercules just bargained away himself for a woman he just met without talking to her first and figuring out what she wanted. And he's like, there's, like, a little inkling in him who's like, oh no. He says he needed to do the right thing. So she calls him an idiot, but he is an idiot because he gave a full trade. So, basically, since her contract was forever, now his contract is also forever. She's angry Hades doesn't talk to her about deals anymore, and that they basically live separate lives until they clash in a way that hurts more than it helps. And she recognizes that she shouldn't blame Hercules for all this because technically he's a victim, but she's angry he just assumed what her relationship with Hades is. He asks her to, like, explain it. He says that he doesn't understand, and she says, and I quote, "Oh, now you're willing to show..." Nope, that's not what it is. "Oh, you're willing to slow down long enough to actually consider my opinion? Does my damsel in distress role allow for a speaking part?" Because, she's an icon. And then she pulls her hands out of his. She partially blames herself, since he felt like the whole sex earlier was forced, and she never thought to explain that to him. And so she storms out, partially out of anger, but partially out of guilt, and goes to Hades' office. He has, like, a decoy office in the club, and for security reasons. It's not really talked about after this. And then there's the wonderful line, and I quote, "Hades is too powerful to fuck with, to them. I'm too angry to heed the warning." So this is when I switched to just, like, writing out paragraphs and notes, so fun times. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee.
Honestly, we love angry women.
Mm-hmm.
We're allowed to be angry, I guess,
Megan asks if it was all a trick. I assume the whole sex with Hercules, and he says yes with a lot of internal anger towards Zeus.
The amount of corn I've eaten the last 2 days is criminal. Like, I ate a whole bag of frozen corn yesterday. Not in one sitting. And then I just ate a whole can of corn because I was the ones I had. It's fine. I just thought you should know that information. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Not someone calling me on the house phone.
Who the fuck? Meg worries that he's trying to replace her and get an upgrade, and when he stands up to confront her about it, she steps back like she's scared of what he's going to do. Which upsets him because he didn't know their relationship was this bad, and he internally furthers the point that part of the plan is to use Hercules to fix their relationship.
It's from watch a hatchie. Watch a hatchie, Texas. Why is there some whack-ass names here? Anyways,
yeah, no, a lot of this...
I'm sorry.
Like, first half-ish is a lot like her not, like, believing that he doesn't know their relationship is on the rocks, and him knowing but trying to figure out a way to fix it. And not knowing why the relationship is on the rocks. He just knows that she's not happy anymore. So it's a good time. He views the relationship, oh god, I remember this. He views their relationship as two trees that have grown together, because she's the only person who's been able to accept all of him, and seeing her withering day by day recently has been upsetting him, and he wants to see her bloom again.
BRB bashing my head against the wall. See, I still got a way to make it chaotic. Even though it's, anyways. You're welcome. I love you. Happy birthday. I don't know.
It's not my birthday, but okay.
It's somebody's birthday as they're listening to this, correct? Maybe. And you never know. Did you imagine someone listening to this on their birthday? Like, please do something better with your birthday, bestie.
What are you talking about? Listening to us talk about smut is a great way to spend your birthday. I would like to remind you, we spent my birthday talking about smut.
And then watching the movie gave me a crisis, yes.
Yes. He doesn't explain his whole plan, but he does inform her that he doesn't want her to be with Hercules yet, but that he did get him for her, which she questions, and that hurts him, especially with her lack of faith in him after 10 years. Though he does recognize he deserves it. He tells her they're going to seduce Hercules together, and his reasoning that he doesn't tell her, but, thinks that, is that, they're going to bring all of Olympus to its knees, but he doesn't tell her, good times. Hercules has had relationships with men before. We learned this. He does not mind butt stuff. That's kind of important.
Spoiler alert, everybody is gay.
Yes. Tink shows up to deal with his
including the frogs.
We learn Hades is...
Wow, that didn't even make you laugh. Today's a sad day.
Okay. We learn Hades isn't with other people, other than Meg. He does watch it, other people do it, he likes watching other people, but, he's not, participating. The only person in this relationship who goes out with other people is Meg, generally recently with Jasmine a lot, but yeah, they usually don't bring other people in. Occasionally they do, but that's because Meg is a, switch, so occasionally she wants to show a little bit of her dom side, so they bring in another sub, in which she can, do her stuff with, and then the two of them do it, so that's usually what happens. He's very much just with her. Hercules goes to BDSM school. I can't believe I wrote that.
Hell yeah.
There was, a bunch of information.
Hell yeah.
There was a bunch of, stuff about, the schooling, and I was like, I don't give a fuck. BDSM school. Also, there's, a whole bunch where he goes to the gym on his own, because they have, a private gym. He will, originally start as just a server, though. He does have to watch people like everyone else to give recaps to Hades afterwards, because that's basically how Hades gets all his dirty information about everyone else, is by learning their secrets through having his servers and, all the subs he, hires basically, spy on people. He sees Meg at the bar, and he assumes she's there for him, and then, while going to talk to her, he realizes everything before was consensual. She takes him to see Hades, and, he's angry they played him. He realizes this was all just a play, and whatnot. When Hades informs Meg about his side of the deal, basically that, he cannot harm her without her consent, she says that's what the point of the safe word is, and that we learned that Hades considers the rules of the safe word sacred. He actually brings up, he's like, I don't go, the safe word, big deal. He tells Hercules to pick a safe word, which his is Olympus, and then he quote unquote teaches him how to submit while using Meg as an example. This is when, we officially see Meg as a switch. We did a little bit in the first sex scene when she was a little bit controlling with, Hercules, and then with the aftercare afterwards, but, this was the first time where we really see it, because they bring in another sub, who is Aurora, aka Sleeping Beauty, and so basically, Hades and Hercules are sitting on
Hell yeah.
They're, kneeling on the ground, and watching as Meg dominates Aurora, and then Hades is jerking Hercules off while they watch this. Yay. We learn a little bit about Meg's background. Basically, the deal she made with Hades was for this guy named Declan. I already brought this up early on. But they used to be partners in everything, and she was the center of Hades' world. She helped build him into the man and the empire he has now, with him, with the power of all her girl boss powers. I said that weird, but that is what I wrote. But then he started leaving her out of...
When do you not say things weird? Sorry. I'm in a mood. We're both in a mood. It's fine. It's okay.
It's fine. I'm trying to go through this as fast as possible because I don't want to... The audio quality should be better. I took allergy meds. Look at us go.
I miss my puppy. She doesn't want to lay in here with me. And
my dog never loves me, so it's fine. Go love
the cat. She
loves
you. She's just... What?
Go love the cat.
It's asleep. Never mind. Disturb that one. I don't know what to do with it. Like, what do you do with it, kitty? I'm scared I'm gonna break it. It's so tiny.
Not that you say you, and then there's Crocs.
What?
I would like to inform you, I don't like Cheetos.
Regular Cheetos or hot Cheetos or both?
Both. I don't like the texture. That's the issue for me. I'm big on texture.
Oh Lord, I almost died.
I'm big on texture, because I can't taste most things. So I'm big on texture, but also, like, the only one of my 5 senses that actually works properly, because I used to have hearing issues. I'm blind and colorblind, so I'm double blind. I don't have a proper taste to smell, therefore I don't have a proper sense of taste. The only 5 senses of mine that works is touch, which is why I'm very also like touch sensitive. Good time.
What do I do with this cat, man?
Just hold it and pet it. We'll have just cat meows in the background for ambiance.
We haven't named it yet, but I'm seriously gonna make my mother name it August or something because of the Wicker King, you know. That's the least she could do. I'm already. Oh, it just curled up. Okay, it's in a little ball. It's in a little ball. It's so cute. It's so tiny. It's just a baby.
I know
it's just
tiny.
baby.
I showed the pictures to my mommy, and she's like, "Oh my god, it's so tiny."
Come here.
Can you like ever remember like the thought that like Eddie Ray used to be something small like that?
We never had her when she was that small, so I never saw how small she was.
That's sad. I remember Bella being like really, really tiny, and then look at her now.
Like, here I have a picture of Ebby from like maybe I don't know how long after we got her. But my brother had her before that, like not that long. I think someone just dropped her off because my brother's dad lives at the edge of town, you know. I think someone just dropped her off or she jumped out, etc.
That's sad.
Yeah.
I
tried to pick the kitty up, but it didn't want me to pick it up, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, it's digging in the kitty litter.
Okay, I want to talk about book. So by the time Meg realized their conversations had like stopped being like they used to be and all that, it was too late. So she put up her own walls, and now she doesn't trust him. He feels like a stranger to her. Hades uses Meg to punish Hercules by punishing her using a cane, which is like a really big deal. She's like, when he goes to be like, I'm gonna use the cane, she's like, the fuck? And then she realizes it's her punishing her, or him punishing Hercules, by punishing her, by hurting her, and she's like not the happiest about it. There's like, he doesn't immediately do aftercare, which is a little weird. But he does offer Hercules to join, and he agrees. They have some fun times. Hades does some aftercare, really focusing on Meg, and Hercules notices how much he really cares for Meg. It's a lot of him noticing their relationship. Hercules assumes Hades is using him to go against his father, but recognizes Meg was surprised, so she doesn't know anything about the plan. There's a Kit Kat.
Yeah, I picked it up. It's so tiny.
I know he's so tiny. Meg questions Hades on why he's doing this again, and he doesn't give an answer still. But he does let it slip that it has to do with Olympus and his exile there. But it confuses Meg because Hercules is too young to have anything to do with it. For like age range, Hades in this is in his 50s, Meg is in her 30s, and Hercules is in his 20s. So, she is upset he won't let her in, and just wants him to talk to her, but he pushes it aside and says to just trust him like she used to be able to. Which upsets her even more, and Hades recognizes this and almost tells her his plan, but just talks about business instead. He's like, we have a liquor meeting tomorrow, and she's like, I know. This is my literal job. This is the only part I somewhat enjoy.
You can't eat my fingers.
Why not?
Because I need them.
He's no longer her safe place, so she goes to leave the room. And when she gets to the door, he tells her she pleased him greatly. And she just leaves without another word, on the verge of a breakdown. She locks herself in her room, but Hades comes after her, recognizing that she is hurting emotionally. He's like, "You're hurting," and she's like, "Yeah, physically, you just whacked me with a cane a bunch of times." And then he's like, "No, I mean emotionally." She
Oh no,
really
you cannot
doesn't-
go that way. You're gonna fall off my lap.
She really doesn't want him to come into the room and do this, because then
Here.
even if he does repair some of the
Oh my lord, don't pull the food. Oh my god. Okay, we almost spilled the food. I'm so sorry.
if he does like repair some of the damage
go.
by like being there for her,
I don't know
no
what this
matter
cat
what,
wants.
he's going to break it again. So like, what does it matter and all this stuff. But he comes in anyways. And they cuddle, and then he starts kissing her, saying he is who he is, and she says, "I know," and then she says, "I need what I need," and he says, "I know." They have gentle sex time, looking for comfort in each other. He says she's always his, and she can't tell if it's a threat or declaration of love. And for a moment there, he's vulnerable enough so she can tell how much she means to him, and if something were to happen to her, he would raise the city. But then he puts his guard back up, and it just hurts her all over again. She falls asleep in his arms, but when she wakes up, she's alone again. And the chapter ends with "just like always." Hades recognizes his plan is working, and he should feel victorious about this, but he doesn't. He wouldn't be doing all this if Zeus only exiled him, but he took everything from him. He calls up Zeus, having his number memorized, because besties. Zeus has tried to kill Hades before. Yeah, he's sent a few hitmen. It just breezed past. He says he has Hercules, and Zeus threatens him before Hades hangs up on him. When they founded Olympus, it was said that they would have equal power with Poseidon as well, the three of them equally having it with legacy titles and whatnot. But then Zeus banished him and hurt those he loved in his desire for power. Hades worries Hercules would run off to Zeus if he called him back, which Hades knows would upset Meg, so he plans to make sure Hercules stays without question. Hercules believes that if God, I just gave myself a heart attack by looking at the recording thing to make sure it's still working, and then like it's only saying 13 minutes. I was like, oh my god, we've been recording for like an hour though. How has it only been 13 minutes? And realizing we took a break.
I went to the whole one thingy and I didn't find it, so it must be somewhere else, so I'm stressed.
I'm sorry. There's a lot of sirens out by the road. I don't know why.
Do you hear this cat? What do I do? I don't know what to do. I think it's bored. What do I do with this cat, man? I don't know what to do with cats. I never had cats.
I don't know.
You had cats?
I did a long time ago. All the cats that I'm friends with and or my cat just sit in my lap while I do things.
Well, this is a baby.
I don't know. No, Bestie's cat, who I'm like, I love this cat so much. She just sits in my lap. And sometimes she will do like the little kneading thing. But she'll just sit in my lap as I read. And it's so cute. Like one time her mom came over to check on me because she like didn't see any lights on, and she was like, "Is Rose okay?" Because the sun had started setting and all this stuff, and she comes over and I'm in the complete dark reading on my Kindle while the cat's just laying in my lap. And I couldn't get up because the cat in my lap. I was like, I'm not moving.
Oh, there's one. There's one from when she was little.
Oh my goodness.
You can see the difference, like, in her neck. There's some more, but that's the first one I found. I know it, bestie. I don't know what to do with you.
Me talking about myself. I assume you don't have a laser pointer.
A what?
A laser pointer? play with the cat.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure, that's just a thing I own. Don't worry about it. What to play with cat when you don't have toys?
I have a couple, literally. I don't know where they're at, though.
If you play with your hand, apparently you will try to hunt it. Also, I was thinking, you could do like the thing where you take some string and they try to attack the string, and that is literally in the photo.
I got plenty of string. Let's go get some string and see what happens.
Oh, you could apparently play hide and seek with cats.
I'll look for more later. But I know there's more of her being tiny baby everywhere, you know, but I saw them on my other phone like the other day, so I know I still have them, you know. And obviously they're Ebby, so why would I delete them?
Oh my god, you can play with cats with bubbles?
Oh my god. Where's the in there we go. Here's right,
Cardboard
baby.
boxes.
Nope. I'm trying to find some of my embroidery floss that's like just pieces, you know, like after I've made bracelet, but did I throw it all away? Can you hear it still? Like I'm in my room and it's so loud.
I know. It's okay, Bestie. That article also said that yeah, over vocalization is a sign of boredom. So
This poor cat. I'm getting
this is
string.
why people shouldn't get cats when they're not prepared to have a cat.
This was my mother's idea.
I know.
This was not my idea. I tried so hard. But also, apparently, the mom was, like, killing all the babies, so that's why she brought it. I'm here! Oh, she's... Look! What is this? Look! Also, there might be something wrong with its eyes.
Aww.
It's, like, crawling up this tower right now that I have on the edge. It's crawling up the tower! Hello, I have string. I put it on your head.
No.
Got string on your head. It's, oh my god, it's literally crawling up the towel. Like, the whole towel is, like, crawled, like, oh my gosh. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay, back to the book, I guess. I got distracted by cats. But look at, hear this cat, listen to this cat. How am I not supposed to get distracted by cat? It's going,
it crawled all the way up to the top of the bathtub.
Oh my God,
it's on the edge of the bathtub.
Oh my goodness.
It's crawling on the edge of the bathtub. I know. We're gonna put you back in the bathtub so I don't accidentally unalive you.
Oh.
By letting you fall.
Yay, that'd be
You can
bad.
play with the string. Wanna play with the string? Let's see if it'll play with the string. I don't know if I can see the string, honestly. There's stuff wrong with its eyes.
Yeah.
Oh. The paw is up. Oh.
So, Hercules believes Hades had gone to him, with a plan to take down Zeus. He would have happily gone along with it. But instead, they decided to play
No,
a
it's
trap.
not working. The string is not working. I don't know if you can see the string. It's crawling back up the towel again.
But they trapped him with the power of Meg.
Hi.
Hank shows up to take him to see Hades, and when he goes to
Tiny baby.
he notices that the clothes in the closet aren't his clothes, but new clothes.
Why are the paws wet? I don't want to know why the paws are wet. Is it okay?
He slightly
Okay.
complains about it to Tank, who then takes him up to Hades, but before they enter the door, he apologizes, which weirds her out because he didn't even raise his voice. More of him just like, being afraid of being like his father, and, wanted to comfort other people and whatnot. Hercules questions him if all this is worth going after his father, at which point Hades says, a son for a son. Hercules didn't know about this son thing, and apparently happened before he was born. Hercules finds it rude that he would do all this for revenge, but also hurt Meg in the process. Hades plans to make Hercules Meg's new assistant now that Tank's contract is coming to an end. And he says that he can't fuck her, or else he'll publicly punish them both. Meg is pissed Hercules is her new assistant, because before now she's always been in charge of managing the club. She doesn't understand his play, and is angry he keeps forcing Hercules close to her and can't guess.
It's purring.
Can't guess what his play is anymore. I mean, that's good. That means Kit Kat like you.
Of course it does. All cats like me.
They used
That's
to.
not a joke. That was just like an actual thing. Lots of cats like me.
Cats like me too. The issue is that I'm allergic to them. They used to.
It's
not why I'm having bad allergies. It's not the pollen. It's the cat through the power of the tree.
Oh, baby.
They used to do morning walks through the club every day to check on the club. And she still does them. And every time she goes downstairs to do them, she looks for him. And is disappointed every time when he's not there. This is the part in the book when I realized the Dark Olympus series and this series are connected. So Hades in this book believes his son.
Oh, you cannot play with my earbud cords.
And in Neon Gods, the Hades in that one believes Zeus killed his father. I did look it up. There's other like terminology and whatnot that's similar. And so I did look it up, and they are connected. The Hades in this one is the Hades in that one's father. They just believe the other one's dead. And whatnot. He had him when he was in his 20s. There is a short story There's like 3 short stories that her Patreon voted on. Well, the Hades is reconnecting. And I did totally sign up for her newsletter just to download that. It is on my Kindle. I should read that.
Should we make it a podcast episode?
I mean, probably not. Cause,
I don't know.
I feel bad because it's like this whole thing that's like you download from her newsletter.
Well, I'm just speaking. I'm honestly not even paying attention. I'm just speaking.
It's okay. You've already heard all this before.
And I'm stressed out about a cat.
It's a cute cat, though.
It's like purring like crazy.
I think it just wants attention.
Me too. It's okay.
I'm sorry. Are the 50 plus views on the Things We Never Got Over episode not enough for you?
No.
Oh. I still can't believe that.
It's trying to like, it's low-key trying to knead on my shirt, and it's like, bestie. It's trying to eat my shirt too, bestie. Yeah. What's worse, eating my fingers or eating my shirt?
Probably the
Ow, my finger for sure.
Meg calls
I hear ya.
To complain about Hercules being her new assistant. He doesn't have like the proper training or any of this stuff, but he just says he's a present, and to see him after they're done, and then hangs up on her. It pisses her off. She tries to play nice with Hercules until she realizes.
I mean, at least you're going for the right arm, bestie.
She realizes the two are talking behind her back about, the plan, or Hercules knows something of the plan, and when she asks him about it, he says, ask Hades. She's like, I wish I could. But also, he brings up the fact that, Hades ordered them not to bang. And she's angry that they're talking behind her back about what she can do with her own body. Yeah. And so, she thought Hades knew her better than this, but apparently not. And she's also heard about him trusting Hercules about this plan, but not her. So this is like the main point when we get the background on Hercules' past, which is he basically tried to get his father into the proper punishment for the crimes he did, by making.
At least he's attacking the right arm, right?
Sure. By making Letta come out with her story and make it go to trial and whatnot. But then everyone just victim blamed her, and he couldn't protect her from this. So she ended up dropping the charges and running. And right before she ran, Hercules gave her a bunch of money to help her out. And she's like, "Don't ever contact me again." And then he then also left home. So Meg recognizes her and Hades would have burned someone to the ground for doing those things, because consent is very important to them. Part of the reason she likes Hercules so much is he doesn't try to hide anything. It's like mentioned multiple times that he's like an open book and whatnot, and Meg likes this, because Hades is always hiding parts of himself from her nowadays. She tries to initiate some fun times, but he turns her down because Hades said no, which hurts her more than she expected. And then she's like, "Leave," and he's like, "No, we gotta do work." And so she teaches him for like 5 minutes and then kicks him out. And he says he'll fix it. She says, and I quote, "Some things aren't capable of being fixed. The faster you figure it out, the faster you'll get ahead in life."
Well,
we have like 2 pages left.
Ow. Yay. I let it play with my hands a little bit. Now it's getting excited. It's trying to eat my fingers. Aye! You can't eat my fingers, Bessie. I'm so sorry. It's like, watch me. Look up here. Yeah. Yeah.
So Hercules works tonight with Aurora, who answers some basic questions about BDSM. While he's working,
Or BDSM school.
Well, he doesn't understand really the rules. He's all like, "So if Dom tells me what to do, I have to do it." And she's like, "Technically, no. You don't have to do anything that anyone tells you to do, unless if it's your Dom or your owner. And the only reason you won't do something that he tells you to do is because you use your safe word, right? So basically, you don't have to do what anyone tells you to do in the club." He runs into Hook, who's like all flirty with him and whatnot. At which point Tink runs up and he's like, "Oh no," because Hook is an ugly guy, and it's clear they have history. And he notes the look of both hatred and lust in Hook's eyes. I'll bring it up later because there's like more about Tink's past, and I think there's a connection there. When he says Tink will say yes to him one of these days, she says, and I quote, "Hold your breath, please. It would leave more air for the rest of us." I cackled. He wants to. Hercules wants to apologize to Meg for earlier. And when he goes to do that, he's hanging out with Jasmine and Jafar, giving Jasmine some lovin'. Yeah, and when he walks up, he is forced to watch her continue as a kind of punishment, because he has to work with Meg. And then in the next chapter, Jafar makes Meg stop playing with Jasmine because he doesn't like the idea of Jasmine being used as a form of punishment for someone else, even though initially it wasn't. That's what's turned into. And then, so this is the really long quote about her views on everything right now. So Hercules, and I quote, "A living reminder of how little control I have in my own life, of how little my needs matter. Hades plays his games, Hercules obeys no matter the cost. Where does that leave me? Scrambling to patch up the heart that Hades kept shredding over and over again. Every time he turns away, instead of reaching out to me, it's like Declan invading me, but 1,000 times worse, because I was infatuated with Declan. I love Hades. I love him so much I stay despite the tiny cuts he deals out during every conversation, unintentionally or not. I swallow hard, hating the burning in my throat." You know, just a depressed woman. Not you sending me a Snapchat. I assume it's a cat.
Guess what it is? Yes.
It's a little fluff ball.
It's so tiny. It's so tiny.
I know. It's
It's so hungry. Apparently, it's smaller than what it should be for its age. So
Yeah,
I
I thought he
understand
was
it being
really tiny,
hungry.
and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, it's over a month old. I know that much.
Ooh, yeah, then he's real tiny for his age.
Yeah.
Meg is starting to blame herself for staying when she thinks it's pretty clear, both Hades and Hercules are trying to replace her. So, she, like, brings it up to Hercules, because Hercules is like, why are you pissed? And she's like, because you fucking turned me down and you chose Hades over me, and he's trying to replace me with you. Like, why would I not be pissed? And he feels bad because she feels like no one wants her, so to prove that someone does, they basically raw dog it. And then Hades walks in on them doing this, and then forces them to finish. And when he tries to go to punch them, Meg talks back, but with the truth and her emotions this time about how he's been too preoccupied. And Hercules gave her what she needed. And it's insinuated not sexually, emotionally. And he says the night is just for her, and she gets to choose what they do. There is, like, in between, like, bits of sex, there's, like, a bits of communication. So, they have a nice talk about communication and how he knows he's hurt her, and that this is his way of trying to fix it. But also he's upset that she didn't say what she needed, and she says that he used to be able to just tell, and she didn't know she had to, like, tell these things to him anymore. Hercules snaps at them at one point to just communicate, which Hades reprimands him for. When Meg asks if he'll just tell her the plan, he's silent for a bit, which makes her laugh and say, there's the answer. And he says that they'll talk later, and then that's when it starts actually having sex. And she gets to choose. She says she wants all his secrets because he keeps on saying this thing about secrets, and he doesn't know if he can do that. There's a cute flirty moment right before things get down and dirty. And when Meg lounges out to get prepared for it, he realizes she's lost weight recently. And it pisses him off because he didn't realize it earlier and views it as another way that he's failed her. Hades plans to discard of Hercules after the main revenge plan is over, but, like, also he doesn't want to. Hades and Hercules have a moment of understanding that while they may go about it in different ways, they'll both always do anything for Meg. And Hercules sets up a way of, they bang again, different position than the first one. The first one's really important, I'll bring it up later. Yeah. But he sets up a different way, in which, basically they're using him, and it's a way for, Hades and Meg to repair some of the damage, by them having to work together. Good times. And there's some post-coital talks. He's like, we'll talk later. Meg never knew about Hades' wife and son, even existing, and it crushes her. Oh, okay. He tells her the very basic version of the plan, but she can tell that he's holding back, which hurts her even more. And then she realizes, like, Hades, or not Hades, Hercules is part of the plan, so she's like, if you hurt Hercules, I will leave you. And he's like, excuse me, your contract is a lifetime. And she's like, yeah, I have a way out, and you know this. And you know you'd never be able to find me. And he's surprised by her being curious about this, and she storms out. She's getting tired of everything. She thinks he won't change his plans no matter how much he cares for her, since it's a 30-year desire for revenge. And the worst part to her is the longing in his voice and eyes when he was talking about his son, because for their whole relationship, she believed that they were on the same page about not wanting kids, which is, like, something really important to her. Like, she thinks that the idea of wanting kids or not is something that a couple should agree on. And the whole reason she believed this is because he told her so, and then he fucking lied to her, because he already had a kid. And so she's going through a self-pitying spiral, and goes to knock on Hercules' door, but thinks better of it, so she turns to leave, but Hercules saw her at the door, so he opens it and invites her in, at which point they cuddle, and she falls asleep in his arm, after, she offers to help him run away. In his singular arm? Yeah, run away, if he wants, but he says he won't go anywhere, and she says that's what scares her. Page 8 of 9. Let's go.
I got puppies. You should, in the description of this episode, you should say featuring a whole zoo.
I feel like I should make more animal noises then. I mean, we did mention swans in this episode, so.
What? There's a duck.
Hey, not the duck. The next morning, Hades enters.
How many animals do you need to have a zoo, technically? Because we got 3.
No, we got 4 because it's swan.
Oh my gosh. So hard.
How many animals make a zoo? 168 different species.
Okay, maybe we just have a petting zoo. That requires less animals, correct? Because a lot of those are like circuses and carnivals and stuff, so... I think we got a petting zoo, don't worry.
The next morning, Hades enters Hercules' room, expecting Meg to be there. And he recognizes he should let both of them go, and be without him, because they would be better together without him.
Come here.
Hercules wakes up expecting him to be there, and they talk in hushed tones, so not to wake up Meg. Hercules snaps at Hades eventually to just climb into bed with them, and he does on the other side of Meg, and after an internal battle about the idea of not giving up Hercules, and then Hercules and Hades start making out over Meg, who is sleeping, but then it switches. The next
Should I bring up what I brought up yesterday that reminded me of the scene reminded me of?
Sure.
Okay, my stepsister made me watch a movie, and the girl was sandwiched in between this guy and his brother, and then the guy that's behind her. You know, but she's sandwiched in between. It's him, her, and then his little brother. And they're like sandwiched together. This is like a twin bed, bestie.
I forgot about that. The other guy was his brother in that.
I didn't watch this with my own free will. My stepsister made me watch it. I feel like I need to make that clear.
I make you watch movies like The Arrival.
Yeah, I think I prefer the movies you make me watch, because she made me watch that one, and then After.
Oh, no.
They weren't bad, but they're definitely not good.
The second one is my favorite, because it's hilariously bad.
I think that's the one we watched, because
That's the one with the line, fucking Trevor.
I don't know which one we watched.
It's the one with the Sprouse brother.
Is that the one we watched? I don't know. They all looks the same.
Because the Sprouse brother that was in that left after that.
It's the one with the ice play. Is it ice or the wax? I don't know. That one, whatever it was. That's the only thing I remember about that. And then it's the one where it's revealed that the other dude, one dude is not actually his dad, but it's the other dude who's like their friend or whatever, family friend or whatever, but it's like, I don't know.
Third one, maybe?
I don't know. One of them wasn't on Netflix, and my stepsister just put one of them on. I was like, okay.
I did watch the first two a few years ago for Halloween, saying the scariest thing ever is an abusive relationship.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what was going on.
I don't know either. I almost read the first After book, and then I got better of it.
Should we read them for the podcast, or should I read them for the podcast?
No.
Well, my sister owns them. She owns them, like, physically. I could read all of them physically.
No.
You don't want to go through that for the podcast?
No.
Maybe people actually listen to our podcast then.
No.
The wrong audience, but
no.
People would listen to it.
No. We need the audience that listens to the Carmilla episode, not this.
Yeah, the 4 people.
Yeah. So, when
poor kitty cat.
When Hades and Hercules are making out, Meg is actually awake. And she contemplates leaving, cause like why should she be there? They don't need her. But then they realize they know she's awake. At which point they try to have a conversation with Meg about everything, but she tries to stay closed off. They eventually do get her to admit she feels replaceable and useless. There's some sexy things happening while this is also happening. So, this surprises Hercules and makes Hades sad that she's still hurting. At which point she says, and I quote, "I'm always hurting."
Stop.
Hades says he's always loved her, even if he doesn't know how to show it sometimes. And she says she knows, but it may not be enough. And then he asks for her to give them as a throuple a chance. They use the word poly instead, but I'm gonna use throuple, even though technically they call it a poly.
Respectfully, throuple is a better word. I don't care.
Hades brings up he's not Declan, which confuses Hercules, and Megs is a little upset about that because, like, he brought up some of her past trauma without her permission. Meg realizes he's given up at least part of his vengeance for her. And then we learn more of her background when they're telling Hercules, which is that Declan wants something only Hades could get. So he had Meg, his girlfriend, trade her freedom for it. And Hades took the deal because he wanted her, saying on the rooftop, oh yeah, she's like, what did you say to me on that rooftop? And he said, and I quote, "You are destined to be a queen, not some man's pawn." Which, you know, kind of like using her to trap Hercules, kind of, messed up thing to do, but, you know, Hercules is surprised that Hades took that deal and let a man who, hurt Meg, for profit,
Okay.
from her sacrifice, yeah, live and all this stuff. A year after the bargain, Hades decimated Declan's territory. And when he came to Hades for help, he kicked him out. And everyone just let it happen because they all viewed it as a courting gift. Because this is like around the time that they started their relationship. And Icon really, yeah. And then something that Meg never knew is that, because, like, Hercules' ways, like, you left him alive, what's will stop him to come back and try something? He's like, oh, he did. He tried to go after Meg, because he viewed it as Meg's fault for turning Hades against him. Is this what I said with the power of pussy trap? I vividly remember this now. Why did I say that again? No! I had a chance not to say it, and I did it again. Anyways, he tried to kill Meg, and then Hades killed him without her ever knowing. Right after that, she agrees to be a throuple. There's a cute throuple makeout session, and she thanks Hades for the gift, which is Hercules. Spicy hot. This is when I started. Instead of saying they thanked all the time, I just put in the hot pepper emoji. So hot pepper times. Hercules has fallen for them both. Hercules prepares to push them into. Oh yeah, so like he recognizes that they have communication issues, and that part of his role in this throuple will be to push them into communicating, and whatnot. And he's fine with that. He's like a very easy person to talk to, from what I can tell, and all this stuff. So, you know, real sweet. Hades' reasoning for pushing her out was because he was afraid she was unhappy and gonna leave him, which makes her laugh because she's like, wait a second, so you thought I was unhappy, so your plan was to push me away, therefore making me unhappy? And he's like, I'm not a perfect man. And he promises not to do it again, and she says he can't promise such a thing. And then more spicy pepper. But Hades and Hercules can tell Meg is still holding back in fear of letting herself try again. But she does eventually agree to trust them both, which Hades recognizes as a big fucking deal, because, like, first there was Declan, and then there was him, and she's willing to try to trust him again. Another spicy pepper scene, these are all back-to-back, in the same bed, like, within, like, 2 hours, I assume. There's just a banging marathon in this one bed. So, like, obviously, the bed's not proper for sleeping in at this moment. Like, they probably shouldn't sleep in that. So after they clean up, Hades takes them to his penthouse, where Hercules and Meg cuddle and to sleep, and right before she falls asleep, Meg hopes this will work. But Hades does not join them in bed initially because he has work to do. I remember vividly now when I said that you went boo. This is where your favorite part comes in, bestie. So, when they had sex the other night, the three of them, when Meg got to choose how and all this stuff, he recorded it, which, like, they both agreed that he could use them for the revenge, right? So he basically made a sex tape, and he, like, edits it down to, like, a 10-second clip and sends it in an email to Zeus. He, like, contemplates not sending it, but, like, he's like, no, I'm gonna send it. So he sends it to Zeus. I took an image of what he sent. Hercules is kneeling on the ground, on his hands and knees, and Hades is in front, and Meg is behind.
I was gonna try to climb up the towel again.
There also may be usage of some chains in this video, you know.
Some what?
Usage of chains.
Oh.
So, yeah, he straight up sends this video to Hercules' father. The idea of this really makes Stingray laugh.
Just think about it though. Just I'm sorry.
A true power play, honestly. Almost instantly.
No, just think about opening your email one day and then you just get this file attachment and then you decide to open it because obviously a random file attachment is something you should obviously open in your email. Don't do that. And you open it and then a video starts playing and it's your son.
Yeah.
It's your son. Getting it from both sides.
A quick reminder that Gmail scans all, like, files that's sent through Gmail. So
Gmail knows
I don't think Gmail would let it go through. So I don't know what program they're using to email, but
they're based off of Greek gods. Who knows what the hell's going on, Bessie?
Zeus immediately calls Hades, and threatens that if Hades doesn't send Hercules back to him in the next 12 hours, someone will pay. He assumes that he'll go after him. He doesn't think that he'd go after someone else. Cough, cough. He finds, no satisfaction after this. Oh, yeah, so, like, right after he says, you will pay, or someone will pay, he then hangs up. And then Hades does not find any satisfaction in Zeus's rage, despite that's what he wanted. And so he goes to look at his book that has a hidden photo of his wife and son, and it's, like, the last photo he has of them. At which point he hears Meg come up behind him, and she states he never told her about them. His explanation for saying he didn't want kids, despite having one, is that, also in hiding his past, was that, after the trauma of all that, he was a changed man, and having dependents, was not something he wanted, or could have anymore, strengthening the idea that, like, throughout this, that Meg is very much her own strong, independent woman. We love a girl boss. An icon. So,
you know how cats have, like, the most ridiculous names ever, or, like, the most sophisticated name ever?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the whole thought.
Okay. So he finally does tell her what he did with the video through the email and what the plan is. I think the basic plan is that Zeus is going to come after him, and then he'll take down Zeus. Which she says is dumb, and that he will retaliate. He says that he has a handle
Wait,
from
I
Meg.
just realized something.
What?
Because Zeus pulled the thing with Meg, that means Hercules never got claimed in public.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
So.
No.
She gets him to agree to put Hercules and Meg into the conversation about security and what's gonna happen from now on. And then she pulls him into bed, and they're all cuddling and sleeping. When Hercules wakes up, happy and content. And then there's sleepy time, spicy pepper stuff. Hades lets them get finished getting ready for the day before the meeting about security, as he goes to get some work done beforehand. And while they're alone, Meg offers Hercules all her saved up money to get out if he ever changes his mind, and he understands the levity of this offer. And he's just like,
Sorry, I just realized something.
Hmm.
We have 2 things to catch the mice now.
Huh.
Because Emmy tries, but sometimes they're too small for her to get, you know?
Yeah. When I had 2 cats, one of them, like, to kill them, dude, she caught a snake once. She was wildin'. But she would just leave them in your slippers or random places and let them rot. Meanwhile, the other cat wouldn't catch them, but would like to eat them, so, like, he would clean them up for her, which is real nice. But then, after a bit, he died, so, like, we just had her, and she would just, you'd go to put your slipper on in the morning, and there'd be a dead mouse in your slipper, or a dead snake. Oh yeah,
Who did
my
that
dad
happen
after a
to?
bit started making an effort to, like, make sure to check his slippers first thing in the morning before he put them on.
It was in his slipper that he got a snake?
Uh-huh.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's my cat for you. She was a wild one. She was a hunter. That's why, like, we wouldn't have outdoor cats here, because, like, coyotes and whatnot, and wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
And also there's foxes here now. But, like, if she did find a way to get out, we weren't too worried about her, 'cause she usually came back within, like, a few hours. And also, like, she once was, my grandparents had a German Shepherd that was, like, a big, giant German Shepherd and didn't like cats, and tried to eat her. And she straight up scraped off part of his nose. She just went, no, and left.
We ended up standing up for ourselves.
Yes. So
Little kitty agreed before, yeah.
I heard her, or him. It's a him cat.
It's a her.
It's a her? We're naming her
we think.
August?
Yes.
Okay.
My mother doesn't know it yet, but we're naming her August. After my first favorite arsonist.
I'm not gonna say anything about that.
Do you want to know who my second favorite arsonist is?
Sure. Is it Jack?
Taylor Swift.
Oh.
I mean, technically Jack isn't an arsonist. He just implanted the idea, basically. August carried out the plan.
It's not Cancro month yet. What are you talking about?
I can talk about my babies as much as I want to talk about my babies. I haven't spoken about them in a minute.
Okay, fine. Let's talk about Cell and Bree.
Okay, were we doing that episode actually?
After you read Bloodmarked.
Oh.
Uh-huh. You gotta get emotionally destroyed again. Have fun.
I won't read it next month, because I don't think I can handle it next month after this month.
How could you do this to me?
I'm having a very small TBR next month. Do not worry.
I believe in you. I'm so proud.
Continue.
Okay, so, they go to the security meeting, which basically they're going to have more security tapes, and there's going to be, like, an extra ring of security tapes so they can notice if they come for them and all this stuff. The head of security does go to Meg personally, is like, okay, fucking what the fuck is happening? And so she explains that Susan may be coming after them, and she's like, okay, I'm going to do all this stuff. And then leaves, and then Tink comes in, and she has a black eye and a whole bunch of mud in her hair, and I think she has, like, a bruised up lip, maybe too. Meg is pissed. She thinks that a customer did this to her unconsensually because she, like, knows what Tank likes. And she's like, oh my god, and is ready to fight a bitch. And eventually gets her to tell her who did it, and this is, like, where Tank's past comes into it, which is, basically, Tank's contract is based on safety in return for service, from a guy she broke up with. She wasn't sure what he would do, when she broke up with him, and now he has a new girl, and he's learned from his time with Tink, so he has, this new girl's brothers, too, as collateral, aka her abusive ex is Peter Pan, which is why I think there's, like, that Hook and Tank connection, because, the, like, hatred could be, like, the fact that she has a connection with Pan, and, like, in the original Hook and Pan have, an animosity, but, also, like, he's into her because, like, she's a big blonde woman, how could you not? And so, I know that the next one is about them, and, how she tries to go after Pan, and whatnot, and when she does...
I think I love this cat.
When she does, no one will help her, except Hook. But part of his
You
deal.
can't eat my earbuds.
Part of the deal is that if he helps her take down Pan, then she has to marry Hook. And that's the next one. I'm very excited. But Tink went to try and rescue the new girl, who is assumably Wendy. But Wendy then punched her. It doesn't say that it's Wendy, but I assume it's Wendy. And Tink is like, if it wasn't for the situation, I'd probably be great friends with her. Meg offers to handle it for her at any time. Okay, so the plan at this moment is that Hades is going to publicly do some BDSM stuff with Hercules, which is the first time he's ever done this with anyone other than Meg. And it's very rare he ever does that. And it's a way to okay, and it's a way to publicly declare war against Zeus and all this stuff. But then Hercules and Hades are talking, and they feel that Meg won't be able to be a part of it, despite the fact that they're a throuple, because it doesn't send the right message. The message is supposed to be that Hades is like this all-powerful thing that has Zeus's son. And if it's like a throuple with a woman, it will look less like that. So then they have some fun times with Meg, getting her off beforehand. And then they go out to do this public declare and all this stuff, and when they go to do it, Hades recognizes Meg isn't anywhere, and he's worried she should be there. So he goes to check the security cameras, and they can't find her, so they try to go find where she went to the security cameras, and that's where they see that Zeus kidnapped Aurora, and with the threat of hurting her mother, and I assume her deal has to do something with her mother, because it seems she's in the hospital for some reason. And forced Meg to make a deal where she would switch places with Aurora. And then when Meg tries to back out after she gets Aurora out of there, and Aurora runs out of there, they have a sniper prepared to force her into the car, and then they drive off. And that was like half an hour ago, so they have to start, but then Hercules and Hades go after him in 2 cars with the security team. And yeah, Hades doesn't want to kill Zeus because he's scared that how that will affect Hercules. But he's also like, you can't, like, you gotta do what I tell you. Okay, last paragraph. Let's go. Last chapter.
Hell yeah.
It's the final countdown.
Ay, 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 ay. Sorry. I think it's funny though because it keeps attacking my left arm. I'm right-handed, so you understand the logistics here, Bestie.
Mhm.
You're so tiny. Tiny, tiny baby. Tiny, tiny baby. There's a cat on my chest right now. It's like right at my face. I'm so glad I don't wear my glasses because it would be freaking me out because it's already too close to my face.
So, in the car with Zeus, Meg blames herself and realizes Zeus will torture her first. Plus, we also know that he's fine with, not using consent for things. So, you know, I was a little scared for her. But then she recognizes the car of the security team, coming up behind them, so she buckles her seatbelt and tells Zeus he made a mistake. The security team forces the car to crash, and Hercules goes to pull Meg out, but Zeus pulls her back, because she has, like, some messed up ribs, presumably, and has a gun, pointed at...
Oh, too close to my face, Bestie.
He has a gun pointed at me, and he's like, you have to choose between giving me Hercules or watching Meg die, but he won't choose because he loves them both. So, you know, despite the fact that her ribs are fucked up, and she's smashed out, Meg, reaches up behind her and punches Zeus in the face. So he drops her, and Hercules pulls her to safety. Zeus did end up shooting, Hades in that struggle, was just in the shoulder, and he's fine. He barely, like, I don't think he even got it checked out by the doctor. Hades threatens that if he ever enters the city again, he'll kill him, but he's gonna let him live for Hercules' sake. And then Hercules goes to kill him, because he's like, oh my god, you try to take Meg. But Meg stops him, because, like, despite the fact that she wants to turn Zeus into Swiss cheese, thank you.
Sorry.
She recognizes that
I didn't see your eyes today, that's good.
That will eventually push Hercules away if they do that. And also back to the first time,
Ow!
Hades has chosen love over vengeance. My favorite part about this episode is the second half is just me trying to talk about this book, and then you just talking to the cat. You're 100% here. Hades.
I'm listening. Don't worry.
Hades plans to make it so everyone will close their doors.
Ow! Jesus Christ! I'm sorry. It keeps biting my nails, and then it bites my thumb. And it's like biting really hard because obviously your nails are hard, and then there's something soft there. Eventually, ow! Okay, bestie.
But yeah, everyone will be forced to close their doors to both Zeus, but also everyone from Olympus. And they will listen to him because he has like all their details, but also he's who they make deals with and all this stuff, and so they'll do what he says. And that way Zeus can't sneak back in. When they get back to the penthouse, because like Meg's like freaking out, lounged out in the car, laying on top of the both of them. It's like the trauma of all this. Also she has like a bunch of cuts and scrapes from the glass and whatnot. So
well, she punched Zeus in the face, so who cares, right?
Yes. So Hades carries her upstairs to the penthouse where the doctor is waiting. And they learn that she probably has a broken rib or two. So they can't have wild sex for a bit. But she's fine. So they clean her up and bandage up what they can. And while they're cleaning her up, they make a deal. Hades makes a new deal. That it will be 3 lifetime contracts in one, where they will all have a lifetime contract with each other. So sweet.
My phone is dying.
Don't worry, we're on the last sentence of my notes. They hold her in bed, and then fade to black.
Fade to black. Woo.
Woo.
It's over.
Any final
I have
thoughts?
a cat in my lap.
Okay, that's your thoughts? Is there a hat on that cat?
No, it's too small for a hat.
Does it like green eggs and ham?
No. But I like green, and I like eggs, but not ham.
You sound like my sister. My sister likes eggs, but not ham, but I like ham and not eggs.
Okay, you weirdo.
I have weird food taste. Okay?
I knew you didn't like eggs. I just knew. I don't know how I knew. I don't know.
I've probably mentioned it a few times. You got any
my
final
cousin
thoughts
doesn't like
other
eggs.
than hopefully the last hour works?
No. I actually enjoyed hearing this one though, compared to the other ones. That's all.
I was just sad how not funny this is in comparison. The first time we recorded this, it was fucking hilarious. You were making treats all the time.
Yes, that was so funny. And I was yelling about Hercules getting pegged, yeah.
Yeah. The poor cat had to hear that.
The cat didn't exist yet.
No,
or just now?
Just now.
It doesn't know. It doesn't know what's going on.
I wish I didn't know what was going on.
It's a little baby. It's okay.